Hey guys, Joe from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Friday, September the 28th, 2012. Time for another eBay video. Today we have a lot of topics to talk about. We're mainly going to concentrate on things that bidders have been doing that either violate eBay policy, circumvent eBay policy, or are designed to scam you. I'd like to thank a lot of you guys out there who sent me your true stories. Some of them will be mentioned right here today. Some of these stories, however, are things that happened to me. I think I'm going to lead off with something that happened to me because it happened to me just today. And it kind of pisses me off. But why wouldn't it? It has to do with a scammer. Or what I consider someone trying to scam. When a person pays me online, I take, as you know, I take ProPay, and I always verify the addresses. So first you'll get the confirmation letter from eBay saying your item sold. And it will say like, John Smith, 123 Main Street. Then I go onto the ProPay site and I make sure that the address matches. If it doesn't, I contact the buyer and I ask him what the deal is. Recently I had an item go out. I verified the address and I sent it. I get an email from the guy today saying, Joe, you made a big mistake. You sent it to the wrong address. I want a refund of $10 to have it shipped to my house. Now what struck me as weird is a few things. The biggest of which, he did not contact me through eBay Contact. That's a big no-no. Don't ever engage in a transaction where a buyer contacts you off eBay because it's going to be up to no good. Now, second thing that got me confused is on the rare occasion when someone does not get their item, they'll say to me, Joe, I didn't get my item. Track it for me and let me know what's going on. You know, never, ever have I had anyone offer to have it sent to them for a fee. It just doesn't sound right. So I wrote to the guy and I said, listen, before we go any further, I will not discuss anything with you off eBay. I want everything on eBay so there's a record of it. Then I contacted him through eBay and I replied to him, this is to certify that John Smith, 123 Main Street, has contacted me and wants a refund for shipping to have the item shipped to his house, even though his registered address on eBay is 123 Main Street. So if something comes of that, I'm covered. Okay? He's definitely in the wrong there. As are other eBayers that contact you off eBay. Please, I mean, if a guy contacts you with a question like, is the item yellow or is it orange? That's a legit question, even though it should be on eBay. But when he's asking you for money back or giving you any hard time whatsoever, do not converse with him off eBay. I had somebody on the other day tell me they had an incident on the phone. Who the hell was that? One of you guys told me that somebody called you and started giving you lip on the phone about an item and threatening you. I forgot who the hell it was. But always tell the people, I'm willing to do something, even if you're not. I'm willing to do something, but we gotta keep everything on eBay. That's eBay rules, and we're gonna stick to them. Because sooner or later, if they want to open a case against you, they gotta do it through eBay anyway. Do not make any side deals like that where you're giving money back off eBay. Because if, let's say you agree to give the guy $10 back, he could tell eBay he never got that 10 bucks. You know, and pursue a case against you. So my point to you with this type of a scam is do not agree to anything off eBay via email or telephone. No. Everything has to be done through the eBay contact system so eBay Trust and Safety can read it. Should something come of it, okay? I have a pretty big list here. I'm just consulting. One of you guys had written to me after my last video telling me about a PayPal problem he's got. This is something I am not an expert on, but I'm sure some of you are. So I'm going to let you take the floor on this one, but I'll just read to you that he told me that he is a TRS, a top-rated seller, and that somebody opened a PayPal claim against him the other day. But the PayPal claim was not showing up in the resolution center. Perhaps one of you guys can take this one and discuss it in the comments section below. Have you ever had a problem like this? Have you heard of such a problem? Or if you're that guy, maybe you've heard of something else since we last talked. All right? Remember, this is mainly a PayPal problem, not as much an eBay problem. Another thing, one of the eBay changes to seller protection shortly is that buyers must contact the seller before opening a case, which is good. However, if I'm reading it correctly, buyers can still neg a person before contacting them. I mean, I know firsthand it's happened to me. eBay hasn't mentioned anything about that. They say you have to contact the seller before you open a case, but what about leaving negative feedback? I haven't heard anything about that. I like when you guys send me user IDs or links to specific eBayers who are committing what I would consider feedback extortion, leaving way too many negative feedbacks or low DSRs. I recently had someone, I think it was yesterday, excuse me, they sent me a link to an eBayer that left quite a few neutrals. And what made this guy unusual was he was a buyer and he was neutraling sellers who did not leave him positive feedback. For instance, he'd buy an item, he'd pay promptly, he'd get the item, which was good, and then the seller would not leave him positive feedback, and he neutraled about, I guess, 8 or 10 of them. And my subscriber sent me a link to this guy. Normally what I do with abuse like this is I give you his user ID and I say check him out. I'm not doing that with this particular guy because of a few extenuating circumstances. He didn't neg anybody, which is good. And I don't condone what he did. But I will tell you one thing. I buy a lot of stuff on eBay too. And a good amount of the sellers do not leave me positive feedback. And quite frankly, it pisses me off. I pay for my items immediately. Most of my items are either things that I buy it now on the spot or I snipe. Or within 1 minute of the auction ending. So if that's the case, I pay immediately, right on the spot. I click pay now, I'm done. I think I should be getting positive feedback for that, but there are sellers that will not do it. All right? So what I do is nothing. If they don't leave me positive feedback, I'm not leaving them any. I don't neutral them, but they're not getting anything from me. What pisses me off, and it's not often that this happens, is when I get one of these wet washcloth sellers that doesn't leave me feedback, that has the audacity to write to me and say, I would appreciate positive feedback from you. That is the kind of thing that pisses me off. All right? How's it? See you later. Getting back to things. I want your opinion on this. When a person writes to me and says, I haven't gotten positive feedback from you, that's the guy I lay into. Because he's wrong. All right? What he's basically doing is feeling me out to see why he hasn't heard from me. He should leave me positive feedback when I pay him. If he doesn't, okay, it happens. But he should not then troll me and say something like, leave me positive feedback and I'll be happy to return the favor, because that is something that aggravates me. That's the person who I do write back to, and I give them a piece of my mind saying that's not the way eBay's supposed to be. And I offer my own account as proof that I leave everyone positive feedback immediately when they pay, which I do. The only people I do not leave positive feedback for right away are the people who don't pay and I have to open a case against them. For instance, if 4 days goes by and a guy don't pay me, I open an unpaid item case. There are some people that get pissed off when you open an unpaid item case. I have 2 words for them. No, not those 2. The 2 words I have for them, too bad. Pay fast next time. All right? All right? Let's continue talking about shipping. I had a guy just write to me yesterday telling me that he bought an item on eBay and he received it and it was sent in a reused priority mailbox. And it was in poor condition, the box. And that's happened to me a few times, and I've wondered about that myself, because for those a few of you who don't know, priority mailboxes are free. Flat rate mailboxes are free. You can get them at your post office, or you can get them at USPS.com if you're a volume seller and you order a lot. They are free. No reason to reuse a dirty box with a hole ripped right through it. I myself only ship small items through the post office. My larger items all are UPS. UPS may charge a few bucks more, but it's worth it to me. If something does get lost, they cover it and they track it. I've had good luck with them. All my big items are shipped UPS, and I will continue to ship UPS. A lot of you guys are big on FedEx. I don't have a FedEx account. I never have. I'm not knocking them, but they're just not big in this area for some reason. You never know though. I'm not ruling them out. Another one of my subscribers has written to me about a change in the eBay rules stating, this is something that you might have received about a month ago in your seller newsletter. It basically says, eBay, in order to exclude yourself from the agreement to arbitrate, you must opt out of said agreement. What that means, the agreement to arbitrate is basically class action lawsuits. What they're saying is if you sit back and do nothing, you will not benefit from any class action lawsuit that is instituted on eBay. You may remember about a year ago there was a class action lawsuit for eBay Motors where they overcharged people. I was one of the people that was affected, as were many of you, and we all received a check. So in order to benefit from this, what I'm saying to you is we actually have to physically opt out. I would like to know from you guys, have any of you opted out? And do you suggest opting out? That's an important topic of conversation. I myself am still researching this. I would like to be a part of any class action lawsuit, as I have in the past. The jury is not in yet, but I would like to know what your feeling is on this. So again, that's something you need to comment below about. I will discuss more about that next week. Another question I'm often asked is whether I sell any items on any other sites, any other auction sites other than eBay, and the answer is no. And I'll tell you why. The main reason is most of the sites get no traffic whatsoever, with the exception of Amazon. Amazon does get traffic, but I call Amazon the prima donna site. Amazon wants prima donnas, okay? What do I mean by that? What I mean is they want people who sell books and CDs. Anything with a UPC code, okay? They don't want any license plates, any of my caps. I mean, the toy trucks they'll accept, providing they're new in the box. All right, nothing used. And if it's an older collectible one and there's no UPC, they don't want that. Cards, forget about it. I mean, Amazon is a site for prima donnas. I'm not insulting you. If you sell CDs and books, God bless you. You stick with Amazon. But for a guy like me, no, they don't want me. So I don't go where I'm not wanted. Other sites, Etsy. Etsy is for people who are into handicrafting. You know, crafts. That's not me. I don't have an artistic bone in my body. I can't draw a straight line. I really can't. But I admit it. Everybody's good at different things, right? Now, let's get back to talking about the site we really care about, which is eBay. In recent videos, I've been talking about I sense eBay is starting to become more seller friendly. They're not there yet. Definitely not. But they're better than they were. They're getting better. They're doing things, all right? One thing they are not doing, one thing eBay is sadly behind in, is controlling deadbeat bidders. I have not just me, all you guys have so many. I have so many of you guys that write to me telling me about deadbeat bidders. And I feel your pain. I have the perfect solution to it, and I wrote to eBay, I put it in writing when I went to eBay Live in Philly. And I gave copies out to everyone. Perfect solution. This would be especially good with your zero feedbackers. If they do a buy it now, or they win an auction, they cannot bid or buy a second item until that first item is paid for. It's a no freaking brainer. Let me tell you about an experience I had an experience that happened to me the other day that orchestrates this perfectly. A guy with zero feedback bids on my item. He navigates away from the pay page, and what does he do? He begins to shop for the same item cheaper from another eBayer. This is what I refer to as the shopper. My least favorite type of deadbeat bidder. I can't stand the shopper. So this guy bids on my item. He then bids on the same item from a second seller. By doing so, he was only saving about 10 bucks. So I knew right then and there, I never would get paid. Anytime that happens and I see them doing that, I block them. I immediately block them. The next day, he bids on 2 more identical items to the ones he just bid on. He is now up to 4 items. He is paid for none. His feedback is still dead zero. Okay? Naturally, I opened an unpaid item case about this clown. And I know beyond any doubt he'll never pay. And I'm willing to even go further and say, I'll bet he doesn't pay for any of the 4 items. His account should be locked up. He's a waste. He's never going to pay for anything. Can you guys please give me one plausible reason that anyone would do a buy it now on an item? Let's say the item's $100. They click buy it now, confirm. The next screen that comes up is pay now. Can you give me one legitimate reason why a person would navigate away and not pay? I want to hear it. You can't say, well, Joe, maybe he wants to buy 3 or 4 items and pay at once. That is not acceptable for the simple reason I take ProPay. You've seen my eBay Motors account. You've seen it clearly, and it clearly says ProPay only. Okay? Cancel transactions. Another one of my favorites. I also had that happen. How many did I have happen since I last made a video? 2. Crazy New York Driver. Not Crazy New York Driver. Joe. They'll say, I want to cancel a transaction. I don't want to use ProPay. I said, well, are you telling me that you bid on my item without reading the terms and didn't see it says ProPay? And if so, are you also telling me you didn't see the line that says I will not cancel transactions? You, sir, are getting an unpaid item strike. And they don't care. They really don't care. Just like eBay, a VR Spivey that we've been talking about for the last few weeks. One of my subscribers actually called eBay and dimed him out, VR Spivey, for being a consistent non-payer. And the representative said right to the person on the phone, I don't know how this could happen. I myself dimed out Delta 1784 months ago. And the person said to me, they were speechless. They said, I do not understand how this could happen. Keep your eye out for anyone like that consistently doesn't pay. It's really hard to find these people because in order to find them, their feedback has to have negative comments that reflect as positive, like deadbeat bidder, did not pay for item, that kind of thing. Excuse. I myself, guys, never leave a negative comment that reflects as a positive. The reason I don't do it is because it artificially inflates the guy's feedback number, especially if he's a 0. So if a 0 feedbacker bids on my stuff and doesn't pay me, I never ever leave a feedback comment because it would make that 0 a 1 and it would give him credibility because most people don't check the feedback unless the percentage is less than like 95%. I buy a lot of stuff on eBay, and if I see if a seller's got 99% feedback, I don't care. I don't check that. But if the guy's got like 92%, then I want to see what's going on. Okay? So what I'm saying to you guys is, if you come across any of these guys that have a lot of false positives because they haven't paid, I need to know about them. If you comment either below or if you PM me, I will put the word out. We need to make eBay safe. Think about it. I've been doing these videos since 2007, and a lot of you good people have been with me since that time. And let's be honest, some positive things have happened, especially lately. Okay? We're not there yet. This is going to be an ongoing battle. That's one good thing about these videos. I know eBay does watch them. I guarantee you, 100%, take my word for it. I learned that at eBay On Location. They watch these videos. Some they like, some they don't. I don't need any more friends. I'm just trying to put the word out. I'm telling it as I see it. My goal is to do away with deadbeats and scammers. I don't like deadbeats and I don't like scammers. But of course, none of you guys are deadbeats or scammers, are you? Because you're friends of Crazy New York Driver. Right? With that, I'm going to bring this to a close. Keep in mind the following facts. I'm Crazy New York Driver and you're not. I will have another eBay video out next Friday and every Friday. Contact me with any concerns you have that are eBay related or PayPal related. If it's possible, I'll get action. I thank you guys for all the kind words you've left, the positive comments. My email box is always full, but I read everything. I know a few people haven't gotten replies. but thank you anyway. Again, comment below, PM me,